Today on the TMZ Podcast.
Welcome to the TMZ Podcast. Harvey Levin here.
Charlie Neff here.
Courtney here.
Keith here.
So we're going to start. This is really shocking. Sam Hunt's wife has filed for divorce, and she said a couple of things that are just really bombshells. And the first of which is she's pregnant.
7 months almost, because she's due in May.
Insane.
I mean, and nobody knew this.
No one knew. They never made an announcement, never told anyone.
She's not very active on social media.
No,
too,
but I
so
would
it's
think
easy to
that-
hide.
Because, like, he's on tour. Like, you would have thought that, like...
Well, even if she's
we
out,
would've known.
they live in Tennessee, and I would think if she's out and about, people
Yeah.
would have known it. Anyway, she has filed for divorce, and in Tennessee, it is not a no-fault state, meaning that you have to show fault when you file divorce. The way she did it is she is alleging adultery. And
on his part, right?
on his,
So
on-
she didn't have to...
well, she wouldn't do it on her part.
Yeah.
Well,
So
maybe
she
she's like, I got better, better guys.
So since it's a no-fault state, she didn't have to put it out there, right? Because she could have filed for divorce?
You know, I got to tell you, I read these documents. It's a really good question. I don't know how much she has to put in,
Okay.
but she put in a couple of things. She cited a code section, and that code section reads the following: husband is guilty of such cruel and inhuman treatment or conduct toward the spouse as renders cohabitation unsafe or improper.
Oh,
Now, she put that in. I'm not sure if she had to then give the specifics
of
and
why
say it
she
was
felt that way?
adultery, but I don't know whether that connects to this or whether she just added it or whether it was added gratuitously, but she did.
That's
she
really
mentioned
interesting.
adultery separate from that code section.
Yeah.
So, look, they've been married almost 5 years. They were married 5 years in May, and in May, the baby is due.
Yep.
So she wants primary custody. She wants alimony, and alimony on a temporary and a permanent basis, and also
And child support.
and child support as well.
this is really shocking because they had such a romance, and he sung songs about her.
His
when
whole
he was,
whole album.
His
Yes.
whole album was about her.
But this
Like,
And
just
even at one award show, he came out off of the stage and was singing directly to her in the audience. So people thought they were truly in love.
But this shows you that you just never know what people are going through. Like, they are very private people, and you don't know what goes behind closed doors. That's why it's so shocking to everybody.
I feel like she found out and then immediately filed for divorce.
No,
I don't think she knew about this for a long time.
We can be specific.
Oh.
She kind of says that. She says, and they have to list date of separation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She listed Friday.
Oh, so this just happened.
So she
she
something came up and she was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
7 months pregnant. 7 months pregnant and going through this. It's wild.
But
why
Chloe
not-
stuck around.
Why not go through therapy or something like that? Like, you
Because
have a
sometimes if
newborn
you-
baby coming.
Oh, Keith.
Keith, you just said that you never know.
Yeah, but still, when you got a child coming into this world, it's important to me. It's important to have both mother and father coming to get
he can
in the house.
He can still be part of the kid's relationship, and maybe it's more healthier to see the parents not in a toxic relationship and both separate, living their best lives.
Keith,
I know you hate that statement. I didn't know what
I
else to
just-
say.
You have a girl, a baby mama, right? And you
Yeah.
have a kid. You guys share together, but you're not together.
We're not, but we did go to therapy first, and we tried to go through all that. We worked all the kinks before we just separated and we were gone. We definitely trying to work everything
We
out
don't know
first.
what's happened in the past 5 years of the relationships because he also got a DUI a few years ago.
Yeah, but
You don't know what happened.
We have no
yeah,
idea.
she wanted to get out, and she made it very clear that he was a cheater and that he was an adult. To
Right.
say unsafe and improper place, that's a deep cut.
And also being 7 months pregnant and filing for divorce, that is a hard thing to
That's
do. We've
tough.
seen
Yeah.
Khloe Kardashian stick it out with Tristan when she was pregnant and he was, being tricky. So the fact that she was able to do this, it's
But I just
can't
think of
imagine what she's going
Denise
through.
Richards, when she left Charlie Sheen when she was so pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Mhm.
Oh, I
he was
forgot about that.
nope, bye.
Okay, we got a lot to cover. Kanye West.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Kanye West went after Corey Gamble hard.
Mhm.
Now, what's interesting is, there were a lot of reports and rumors, or there were rumors that Corey Gamble and Kris Jenner broke up.
Yep.
And we've been told that's not true, that they're still together. But apparently Kanye heard the rumors that they broke up. So here's my theory here, that Kanye is now not only siding with Kris Jenner, but talking about how brilliant she is, how he loves her.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he used to call her called her
Kris
Kris
Jong-un. Yeah.
Well, that's all changed. Now he's going after Corey.
Why?
Well, let's talk about it. Calling Corey godless.
Mm-hmm.
That's his new
He's
word,
throwing
by the
that
way.
yeah.
Became the TV version of a father figure. What the heck does that mean?
Well, because if you watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians, he like tries to like guide them and like sit with them and like talk to them like with all of like their problems.
He watches that?
Who?
Kanye?
Yeah.
I'm sure
He
he watches
has seen
it.
it.
Do you
Yes.
think?
Yes, 1,000%.
But you know what's interesting about this is that, like, because I've watched a little bit of Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Yeah.
Why hasn't Corey introduced his family to the Kardashians?
Oh, do you?
that's so
you
weird.
obviously
Very
don't watch
secretive.
Oh, you sound like Kanye because Kanye brought that up one episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and like he kind of got like Kris against Corey because she was like, "We know nothing about you. You're involved in our family so much," and like Kanye brought that up on one of the episodes.
And then Kanye also in his post made it seem like Corey was like a social climber and said like, hey, I saw him go from this celebrity to this celebrity, and then now he's with Kris and his work is done and he's moving on to the next.
Wait a minute. Social climbing in celebrity circles?
I know that's a thing. I know.
He also said that he didn't like the relationship between Corey and Kim and said that Corey was trying to tell Kim like what kind of music to listen to and basically that he got Kim into like liberals in a deep way and he didn't like that at all.
Okay, so we're going to stop and talk about that because I think on two levels, or both of those elements are really interesting. I think it must rankle Kanye so much if Corey Gamble dared to try and tell Kim what to listen to, because that's Kanye's lane.
It's Kanye's
Yeah.
whole
Totally.
entire thing.
Yeah.
He would no.
And
it'd make him
also,
go crazy.
Kanye is obviously big on politics. He tried running for president, and we know he's not a liberal. So I'm sure that was like, pretty upsetting to him too.
Well, but also to say that Corey Gamble has somehow turned the Kardashians into raging liberals.
right?
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
gives Corey Gamble a little bit too much credit.
It does. But also, I think do you think he feels threatened by Corey? Because
No.
why? Because I kind of think that because he's attacking him, why attack him?
See, I
It just doesn't-
think Kanye, in a weird way, this is kind of brilliant. Kim is not listening to him, right?
No.
I mean, he has done everything he can,
No one's listening
as
to
they
him.
say,
quite
6
frankly.
ways to
Right.
Sunday to get her back, and she's made it clear it's not going to happen. So doing a direct line to Kim ain't working.
No.
So now what he's doing is he's trying to ingratiate himself with Kris, because what he says about Kris is, I love this. He says that she is the best ever to do what she does, and basically saying, I love you, Kris. You guided this family. You made them what they are. So I think what he's trying to do, it's probably
It's
not
not
going to
working.
work.
Well, and do you know
But
what?
he's trying to ingratiate himself with her.
Do you know what the February 22nd date is of his album coming out, Donda 2?
Right.
It's
No.
Robert Kardashian's birthday, Kim's father's birthday. So it's like, did he
Aw.
also pick that day to be like, remember? Because he also, remember he made that video of Robert Kardashian for Kim's birthday?
It's like hologram, right?
Yeah, it's like, I wonder if he picked that day because he knew it was her father's birthday.
I
Like
don't
trying
know.
to like send a sign.
It's also both their late parents, right? Donda is
Yeah.
Kanye's
Yeah.
late mom.
Well,
and
that's
then
true.
Yeah.
That's
I
actually
was
a really
like,
good
Robert's
point.
late.
Okay. So we broke this over the weekend.
Justin Bieber.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I guess
There's people here that saw him on concert in San Diego on Friday night. And he was like apparently great. Didn't even like pause at all. Like went through the entire set with no breaks. Like really brought it. So this was like really shocking to people here that actually went to the concert.
He tested
went?
positive for
Who
COVID.
went?
Jamie McCracken.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Yeah, no, apparently the show is great. So he tests positive, and a rep told us this. That's why we put it up on the site. And his Vegas show has been postponed now. And now it's unclear. He's got other shows this week. He's going to Arizona. He's going, supposedly, the Forum later this week. But it sounds like he tested positive recently because he did perform in San Diego.
Yeah.
So I don't know that he knew in San Diego. So if he found out
Saturday morning.
Yeah.
then he's got a ways to go before he can.
It's still 10 days, yeah?
It seems like to get a negative test.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I also couldn't tell. So Scooter Braun had posted something over the weekend, kind of like guessing where Justin might have this. And he posted a photo of Justin and Haley with Kendall and who's Kendall's boyfriend?
Devin Booker.
Devin Booker at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And like pointed out to a guy that's in the background that's the owner of Hwood Group and said like, hey, when I got COVID, it was with you. And now Justin's with you. And here he has COVID.
Why would Scooter do that?
That's
You
a
just
cheap
can't be
shot. You can't do
throwing
that.
around
I
COVID.
think he might be joking because they do follow each other on Instagram because he's like, oh, we see you.
But that's, you know what's weird?
But,
you know what's weird about that? He performed Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know
The Super Bowl was last Sunday.
The
Yeah.
Super Bowl was
It's
was a week ago yesterday. So he performed Friday night. That's 5 days.
You think that he would have tested positive before the concert?
Yeah,
Definitely.
and I
Yeah.
wonder, I mean, I would think that the protocol is that you test before you
Yeah.
go on.
I don't
Because
know
he
how long
did test
before.
because he did test.
Yeah.
So
But symptoms don't start the show until after 3 days.
but no.
But that's-
symptoms may not, but if you are exposed, it should show the next day.
Yeah. So
it should show the next
So
day.
it doesn't really seem like it would have been at the Super
I
Bowl
know.
that he would have got it.
I know, but again, it's just it's like, what do Justin Bieber and Queen Elizabeth have in common?
I know.
Yeah, right. She tested positive too.
So Omicron is on the wane,
Yeah.
but it's still hitting people. I mean,
Ugh.
that's clear. We are going to move on. Sorry, guys. It's this was fantastic.
Oh, Bill
God,
Maher?
Bill Maher.
Don't do
I
that.
thought we were already talking about Mason Gray. I was like, it was good. Bill Maher first.
Actually,
Okay.
kind of like Bill Maher.
I
in this clip.
love this clip. I mean, his show is great on Friday night. And
You're
I
a
know you
fan?
think I go on. Yeah, I go on and on. But I just thought this was so interesting. So Bill Maher was really fired up over Americans turning a blind eye to the abuses in China.
Mm-hmm.
And there is an Olympian from the United States who competed as a member of the Chinese delegation. And he said, this is ridiculous. She also conveniently made $23 million in endorsements in China and therefore, he says, overlooked the genocide and all the abuses that were going on.
For money.
So
But is she Chinese?
she
was-
is, but she's an American.
Yeah, but if she, if her parents, I don't know if this is the case, but if her parents are first generation or if they are from China and then came here, maybe she wants to represent the culture of her family.
And that should be okay to do.
It's not unusual that an athlete might do something like this where they go to another team, especially if they wouldn't qualify in the United States. But he's saying, look,
and there's several athletes have done
You
that
guys,
too.
the making of the $23 million kind of
that
like,
was,
why
guys,
did she do it?
That was just the beginning.
Yeah.
So then he starts leaning in on other celebrities who have apologized for being critical of China or who have gone after people who were critical of China.
Mr.
And
King
he's
James.
he's starting with LeBron and the NBA, and here's what he said.
In America, we're supposed to root for democratic government, not apologize for it. But the NBA has a television deal with China worth $1.5 billion. So LeBron James said Maury needed to be educated on the situation. The situation being, I got some shoes to sell.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
But I mean, that's what Nike and Nike and then their partners that's
But
what
what-
happens.
what do you-
at
what-
what cost? At what cost does that matter? Because these are human lives that's stake. Like that's what Bill Maher's saying. There's more than just money that we have to be looking
But
at.
I think there's a bigger point that he's making, and I want to kind of bring it back to that. LeBron James has been a fierce advocate for humanity in the United States and for equality and for non-discrimination in the United States. What Bill Maher is saying is that should apply to China too. And what he's saying is LeBron is just one example where we have closed our eyes to China because we are dependent on them in the movie business. We're dependent on them in many other ways. And you can make a fortune in China. So what he's saying is that, everybody from the NBA to, other athletes to movie stars, they've all turned this blind eye to China. And that it doesn't align with the fierceness of the move for equality and non-discrimination in the United States.
What kills me about this is that people expect LeBron to say every debate or every situation that goes on, they expect him to come out and say something. And they expect him to change, like he's going to change everything that goes on. I honestly think, look, he's gone through a lot of pressure. He says what he needs to say, and to me, it's just his opinion. But people, it's like, damn it if you do, damn it if you don't.
But he
If he doesn't say anything,
Yeah, but he said
But he said it, and then he
that the NBA
apologized.
owner needed an education. An education on what?
well, I mean,
On what?
what do you mean? But on everything.
No.
Like,
The
what you saying?
NBA, the NBA owner was saying there are horrible abuses in China.
Yes, they are though. Like,
Oh
but-
no, excuse me. He was talking about supporting
It was the Hong Kong.
supporting Hong Kong,
Mm.
which China now wants to eat up like a Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And then and
Jesus.
LeBron's reaction was he needs an education.
Well, look.
LeBron
I mean,
didn't have to say anything, and he said that.
But it's okay. But if he didn't say anything,
It's better than saying that
if he didn't say anything, then people would come down on. That's my
But what
point.
does it mean he needs an education? Like he's wrong?
I don't think he's wrong.
Then what education on what?
Probably education on the whole, just in terms of the whole entire situation, what's going
The
on
entire
there.
situation-
Like you have
the
to
entire
reevaluate
situation is-
everything.
But the entire situation is China is trying to take
Mhm.
Hong Kong's freedom away.
But
I mean, unless I'm wrong
LeBron
too.
just could have said, "I'm not sure about the topic. I don't want to say anything." But he took a dig and said that he needed to be.
So
And
let's-
in
educated.
court, if he said that, then it's like LeBron's copping out.
So
he's
let's
not saying anything.
Okay.
He's not speaking up.
This is not just about LeBron. So
Yeah.
then Bill Maher pivots and says, "Look, China accounts for about a third of the worldwide box office for movies.
Mhm.
So
Wow, that's
John
huge.
Cena, and I'm doing this from memory, and I hope I'm right here. John Cena had said we stand with Taiwan, I believe, and that's another problematic issue with
Right.
China, right?
Yep.
Clearly, John Cena then not only apologizes to the Chinese for that comment, but he apologizes in Chinese.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that was really good. By
Yeah.
the way, I have a friend that speaks fluent Chinese, and she said his accent was pretty well
But-
done.
did-
So
why-
you don't like that. You don't like the fact that he.
Well, Bill Maher
apologized and
certainly
said-
didn't like it. Do you like it?
Well, I mean,
Why would he say it and then apologize? Do backflips to apologize?
I mean, it's pretty obvious that someone came to him and said, you got to fix this. Otherwise, you're going to lose this deal or this deal.
yeah, and that's probably why he did it. I mean, it's genuine. It's a genuine thing. What is he supposed to do? I don't understand. He said he speaks up, he says what he wants to say, but then he turned around, he's apologized.
Keith, let
If
me
it's
ask you
genuine, then
Keith,
why are we upset about
so
it?
let me ask you a question.
It's a double standard.
Suppose
Mhm.
suppose in a different time in the United States
Mhm.
when there was segregation,
Okay.
that somebody and suppose there was
Ronaldo.
suppose there was Instagram back then.
Okay.
And somebody said, we stand with Martin Luther King, and then realized the South accounted for a third of record sales. And then they apologized to the South. Would that be acceptable?
No, but that's a
Then what's-
different
well,
situation.
then
It's not,
Harvey.
though.
explain the
It's
difference.
not.
Explain the difference.
Because it's different because dang, Harvey, you got me on there. I'm trying to rebuttal and go back at him, but I can't. I'm like, you got a point.
Okay, so the best line, here's what Bill Maher said about John Cena's apology.
And I thought steroids shrunk your balls.
I mean, it's a good one.
Yes.
John Cena's not going to be happy when he hears
No,
that.
he is not.
No, but look, I mean, it was a really compelling, and by the way,
I'm on
and
Bill Maher's side on this.
it was a super popular post on our website this weekend.
Yeah.
People were really into this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
Yeah.
great conversation.
No, it
to
really
have,
is.
especially in the heels.
I
of
would
the
love to
Olympics.
see what LeBron and John Cena have to say about it.
if anything.
If
If anything,
I
yeah.
think they're going to leave it alone at this
Okay,
point.
we are going to end with the national anthem at the NBA All-Star Game last
Yes,
night.
in Cleveland. I thought it was really good. Macy Gray was the singer, but LeBron James did not really care for it. He was trying to keep it together so hard, laughing, trying to put his head down. Bill Murray just looked in shock in it.
Yeah.
But it sounded like how Macy Gray would sing the
Thank
national
you.
anthem.
I'm so glad
She
you said that,
is
Courtney.
getting killed
But
for
I
this.
don't-
People
I
are comparing her
liked
to
it.
Fergie when
But-
Fergie Ferg sang.
that was Macy Gray.
Yeah.
That's how she sings.
Let's hear a little
let's
bit.
hear some.
And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting, and air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land and the home of the brave.
Can I tell you something? I loved it.
I loved it too.
I
I like
loved
the
it.
guitar with it.
I
Like,
lo-
it's awesome.
because it doesn't have to be only a song to see how loud you can
Yep.
be.
Right.
And,
And-
how long you can hold the note.
And
right.
this is authentically
Yes.
Macy Gray.
Yes, I know.
And that's my thing. I actually went back to a couple of her songs, and I'm like, well,
That's
exactly
her.
how
It's
she
Macy
sounds.
Gray. I don't
And I
understand.
And she's popular because of it.
Yeah.
I just felt so bad because when the camera turned to LeBron and
It
you
was
see him trying
Yeah.
to laugh, and everyone in the audience started laughing, and you see Macy kind of like lose it a minute and like is looking around like, are they laughing?
I
at
don't know
me?
why
It was
he was
so
And that's
sad.
what I love about the NBA, though, that when they bring in artists, they think outside the box. They bring different type of styles.
I love it.
and this was perfect to me.
By the way,
I
this
agree.
song is really hard to sing.
Yeah.
So if she's doing her own version, like
You
go
got to
for
make it your own, and she did.
I
I
loved
loved
it.
it.
Anyway,
Good for Macy Graham.
we will end on that. Macy Gray, you did a great job.
Yeah,
See
thanks,
you
guys.
Wednesday, everybody.